Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, Lincoln police have arrested and charged a man in connection to a weekend shooting that left 2 people injured. Plus, a new minimum wage initiative will be affecting local businesses in our state. We'll let you know how and what ways the new Inflation Reduction Act will benefit our local farmers. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Rod has the night off. We'll get to those stories soon, but first, a weather system moving through the state is bringing really a taste of everything. Snow, freezing rain, even possible spring-like storms in the southeastern corner. So let's get to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins for the very latest. Rusty?
Yeah, we really have seen just a little bit of everything. There we are. We've got winter storm warnings, we have ice storm warnings, we had some stronger storms move through southeastern Nebraska with some lightning, and now we're kind of in a lull. Things are taking a break for now, but we're not quite done yet. But here's what's going on outside there right now. Look at this mess. We've got winter weather advisories in purple from Omaha, Lincoln, and then just kind of rounding out the southern fringe of the state of Nebraska into Kansas. Ice storm warning, that's in the darker shade of red there, and then in the pink is the winter storm warning. This all goes through early tomorrow morning, and then for the ice storm warning, that's from south central Nebraska all the way up through Grand Island, through the Tri-Cities into northeastern Nebraska, and we could see a quarter to a half an inch of ice accumulation in some of these spots. Already seeing some of that in some spots. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. Notice we're in a lull right now from everything along and south of Interstate 80. Quiet for now. Snow continues in the northern half of the state, and that rain is moving off into Iowa. But I'll zoom out and you can see there's still more coming our way. It's redeveloping right now in Kansas and Oklahoma, and it is headed in our direction. Outside, the flags are flying out there in Aurora with your Penner bathing solution, a north wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. The temperatures are right around that freezing mark, which is expected. That's why we're seeing kind of a rain-snow mix, but it's colder where there's snow, it's warmer where there's rain, and the wind, if there is any ice, that is going to be problematic. Through tomorrow, temperatures are expected to eventually cool off into the 20s in Lincoln by 7 p.m. The rain chance dwindles, but then we might see another chance for some mixed precipitation as we head through tomorrow afternoon, and maybe even a little bit of snow tomorrow afternoon in Lincoln as well. So we're through wave 1 of this precipitation. There is more on the way. We'll talk about it in just a few minutes.
Sounds great, Rusty. Thank you. And with the potential for ice, that brings the danger for downed power lines. Butler Public Power, which serves all of Butler County and a few areas of surrounding counties, is warning customers to be ready for power outages due to ice. It doesn't take much for power lines to come down from ice buildup, and this system could bring measurable ice to some areas, which is concerning for power companies.
I mean, anything up to a quarter inch of ice is very concerning. The more icing that you get, the heavier the wire becomes, and if the wind starts blowing, it can be kind of catastrophic as far as the damage.
If you're in the BPPD coverage area and experience a power outage, you can check the status of the outage on their website. They also recommend calling their office to report an outage, especially if you can see what's causing it, like a tree limb that came down. And with the risks of power lines coming down, the State Patrol is warning drivers to stay clear of those downed lines.
Well, absolutely do not assume that there's no power going through those lines. Do not drive over them. Do not touch them. Turn around if you can and either call 911, call the local power company, call star 55. Let somebody within one of those agencies know what's going on. And if we have to, we'll send a trooper out there to make sure the roadway's blocked, or call the sheriff's office and get their assistance.
NSP says troopers will be out all day and night patrolling the interstate and other state highways, making sure there are no hazards and motorists aren't stranded. If you ever need assistance from the State Patrol, like he mentioned, dial star 55. The Inflation Reduction Act will bring a number of policies into effect this year, including benefits for farmers. The Department of Agriculture says over $20 billion will go to supporting conservation programs that help save farmers money and preserve the environment. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleiter has the details.
A new year means new help is on the way for Nebraska farmers thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act. More than $3 billion of funding goes towards the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Conservation Stewardship Program, which helps over 200,000 farmers and ranchers nationwide to enhance conservation efforts on their lands. John Crabtree, the Nebraska representative for the environmental group Sierra Club, says conservation efforts such as protecting and preserving soil on a farm can make them drought resistant and produce higher yields.
Conservation is important to farmers because the health and quality of their soil is at the heart of their ability to be effective in farming and ranching, to be profitable, to produce good harvests.
The Rural Energy Assistance Program is also receiving about $1 billion to help farmers implement energy-efficient practices or transition to renewable energy. He says nearly 37,000 farmers and ranchers will be able to invest in low-carbon energy production like solar panels and wind turbines, which allows them to help the environment and save energy.
They get to participate in the transition to clean energy in a meaningful way, but also lowering their energy costs, making them more energy efficient, and also helping them produce energy on the farm for use on the farm.
I spoke with Kevin Ron, one farmer near Minden, who said after over 40 years of farming, he knows the importance of conservation.
It really does make a difference in the future if you get busy today. We're never going to be able to capture all the carbon that's put in the air by farming practices. There's no way. But we can make a little bit of a dent.
Ron says he's been part of the Conservation Stewardship Program for years, and it's allowed him to make investments in his equipment and grow his farming capabilities. He says some land in Nebraska has been ruined by over-irrigation and drought, so adding funding to these programs is important to keep the land productive for the future. Many of the USDA's programs also help underserved producers, like people of color and women, as well as veterans, beginner farmers, and farmers working in high-poverty areas. Reporting in Lincoln, Matthew Mitleiter, Channel 8 News.
And to be able to receive those funds, farmers must be enrolled in the Conservation Stewardship Program, which does have application deadlines. The deadlines for this year, though, have not yet been announced. In other news now, some former Nebraska lawmakers are speaking out against a proposal to do away with secret ballots in electing legislative leaders. They say it would inject more partisanship into the unicameral. Greg Adams of York, a former speaker of the legislature, says, quote, political parties get in the way of truly representing the will of the people, end quote. Former candidate for governor Charles Herbster launched the effort to get rid of the secret ballots through his political action committee called Nebraska First PAC. Ending secret balloting will be one of the first orders of business when the legislature begins on Wednesday. Right now, one of the ballot initiatives Nebraskans voted for is now underway, a new minimum wage. Channel 8's Rebecca Heckel shows us how this impacts local businesses.
I'm very happy that my fellow Nebraskans chose to do the right thing and that we value the workers in Nebraska.
Nebraskans voted to raise the minimum wage in the November election, and the first phase is now underway. Minimum wage is now $10.50 an hour.
Whenever wages have increased, revenue has increased along with it, and we've been able to raise our wages. So I'm very happy about this.
Minimum wage will increase to $15 an hour by 2026, but one expert says that could strain small businesses.
It will take time as it's phased in, which will soften the blow, but I think the real impact and the concern is on the very workers that the minimum wage is designed to help.
Holstrom says employees already making above minimum wage will likely expect a raise as well, which puts added costs on businesses.
If businesses see their cost increase to the point where they have to raise prices, that will hurt consumers, reduce benefits or reduce hours, or possibly even cut some employment places.
Again, that was Rebecca Heckel reporting for us. Now we turn to crime news. The State Patrol is investigating a suspected murder-suicide. Officials say 2 people were found dead in a home in David City, Nebraska. The Butler County Sheriff's Office was called by family members to do a welfare check at the home near 4th and K Streets. That's when officers found 29-year-old Dagmara Diaz and 34-year-old Alfonso Palmero with suspected gunshot wounds. Officials say they believe Palmero shot Diaz before shooting himself. Diaz did have a protection order against Palmero. The investigation is ongoing. And a 36-year-old man is behind bars in connection to a shooting in Lincoln over the weekend. 2 people were shot in the incident, leaving one of them in critical condition. Police say Frederick Gooch is facing several charges, including first-degree assault. LPD says around 3 a.m. on New Year's Day, 2 men were shot. One has since been released from the hospital, but again, the other is in critical condition. The shooting happened near 30th and Vine Streets. Police say a westbound lane in that area will be closed today as they continue to investigate. Still to come on the news tonight, federal investigators are combing through the social media of the alleged suspect of the machete attack in Times Square on New Year's Eve. The latest when we come back. Investigating a machete attack on 3 officers on New Year's Eve. Police are now looking into whether or not it was a terror attack. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more.
Federal authorities are joining the investigation into what could be the most serious potential incident of terrorism in the history of New Year's Eve in Times Square. Police say this was the knife used to bludgeon 3 officers, one of them a rookie on his first assignment after graduating from the academy a day prior.
Unprovoked, a 19-year-old male approached an officer and attempted to strike him over the head with a machete. The male then struck 2 additional officers in the head.
According to investigators, officers shot the suspect in the shoulder. And moments after, dozens seen scrambling, running away in fear, worried there was a mass shooter.
Well, I thought it was a shooting, and I was trying to get out of there as quick as possible.
We thought somebody's trying to shoot as many people as possible. Another mass shooting.
Authorities say the suspect behind the grisly attack is 19-year-old Trevor Bickford. The FBI searching his home in Maine while investigators zero in on writings and social media posts that sources say point to recent radicalization. Law enforcement saying last month the suspect's mother told them she was concerned Bickford was gravitating towards dangerous Islamic ideologies. And in the days before New Year's Eve, the NYPD security bulletin warned that jihadist websites had been calling for for attacks, including stabbings.
And I want to be clear that the FBI, through the Joint Terrorism Task Force, is working very closely with them to determine the nature of this attack, and we will run every lead to ground.
Both federal and local law enforcement say the attack appears to be an isolated incident and there's no larger threat. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
In California, thousands of people are without power and under evacuation orders after a deadly storm hammered the state with historic rain and heavy snow. A deadly West Coast system is now moving east, with several other states bracing for severe weather this week. More than 15 million people from the West Coast to Wisconsin were under winter weather alerts. In Northern California, at least 2 people have died and several others had to be rescued as flooding shut down major highways.
By the time I got to where I could see, we had dropped off into the river area and the freeway was underwater.
South of Los Angeles, firefighters had to use a boat to rescue 5 people trapped in their cars. As the system moves out of California, many are still left dealing with damaging winds, impassable roads, and a major cleanup.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
It's early, but we're already starting to get reports of some freezing rain and some ice accumulations. This one over by North Platte, actually there's a few of them here, but this one near North Platte, over 1/4 inch, 0.3 inches of ice accumulation. I mean, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when it's just pure ice, that makes things very, very difficult, and it is also dangerous. Trees could come down because of ice accumulation. Power lines are always problematic. So there's likely going to be more where that came from. And right now in Lincoln, Groundworks cam showing a very, very fuzzy scene here. A lot of moisture out there. In Lincoln, it's just been rain, but that could change over the next several hours. I'll show you that here in a second. First, 27 in Central City, one of the cooler spots. 32 right at the freezing mark in Columbus, York, Aurora, Hastings. Warmer towards Hebron and Beatrice, and Lincoln at 35 degrees. So temperature-wise, as long as you're a few degrees above the freezing mark, it should stay liquid. But the closer you get to that freezing mark, the easier it becomes to become freezing rain or snow or a rain-snow mix. And then when you tack on the wind, and if you have ice on power lines and the wind starts shaking them back and forth, that is usually how power lines come down and trees come down, and anything that has ice on it, the wind becomes a huge problem. So here it is. Northern half of the state, still snow. That's why this area has been pegged for the highest potential for snowfall. Then the ice is the darker pink shade here. Rain snow mix on the other side of this, and then the showers and even some thunderstorms here moving into parts of southwest Iowa. And then a little further south is more. And the low pressure center is about right here, just eastern Colorado, southwestern Kansas. And so everything is going to be moving up from there. You can see already there's a line of thunderstorms right there just north of Hayes. That's all moving towards south central Nebraska. So we're not done yet. It's just kind of a lull. So Stormcast will show that, I think, by 7, 8, 9 o'clock tonight. More scattered showers, rain, snow mix, some ice in this area, especially the closer you get to this line, and then just snow for the western half of the state. This turns away. You can just see it rotating right there. Just incredible. Drier on one side, more snow on the other side. This all eventually moves to the east. We'll see a chance for some snow by Tuesday morning, and some of this could be mixing in with a rain-snow mix, maybe some freezing rain. That doesn't always show up on this by Tuesday afternoon into the evening hours, and then everything kicks on out. So north central Nebraska, 12 inches plus, some models saying 2 feet of snow, so that's a possibility. 8 to 12 otherwise, 4 to 8, 2 to 4, and then it dwindles the further south and southeast you go. It looks like less than an inch from about Omaha, Lincoln over towards Hastings. So here's your ice accumulation right here from Norfolk, Grand Island to McCook. Could see 1/4 inch, could see 1/2 inch in some spots. So that's why there's an ice storm warning. And again, we don't see these very often, but up to 1/2 inch of ice possible from northeastern Nebraska through central Nebraska into south central Nebraska. And that's, you just don't like to see ice storm warnings. Then on the other side of that, winter storm warning for more snow. And then on the southern and eastern fringe, the winter weather advisory, where it doesn't look like the storm will be as bad. Still problematic, just not quite as bad. So temperatures tonight, right around the freezing mark, a little warmer south, a little colder north, and that all makes sense with all the kind of warnings that we have in place. Storms early, then mixed precipitation late, 32 degrees for the overnight tonight in Lincoln, northeast wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. We warm up and then start to cool down. I think the warm temperatures will be early in the day. Temperatures will fall. Mixed precipitation on and off throughout the day. Could see a little bit of everything. Northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Then that's it. It gets quiet. Kind of cold on Wednesday, 28 degrees. That's below average, near normal on Thursday. We warm up a little bit for Friday with 42 degrees. A quick dip in the temperatures for Saturday, and then we warm right back up into the 40s for Sunday and then much of next week. But we have to get past this winter storm first. It's kind of a mess out there. Travel's going to be impacted. Hopefully, if you have travel plans, you take it very, very carefully. Ice storm warnings are nothing to fool around with because you just get on something that's just full of ice and you're into the ditch just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be very dangerous. And coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, our reporter Mackenzie Johnson will be giving us a live look outside at those conditions, so you'll be sure and want to tune in for that as well. Thank you, Rusty. We'll be right back after the break. Crashes throughout 2022 that will take your breath away. Jeremy Roth has tonight's. Take a look at this.
A police chase came to an abrupt and surreal ending when a driver attempting to evade authorities wound up wedged under a UPS delivery truck. Piqua police in Ohio say it started with reports of a truck that had crashed into a building. After responding, the pickup took off and led officers on a short chase that ended with the truck crashing into a UPS vehicle full of packages. Thankfully, the crash resulted in only minor injuries, and police made their own special delivery to the suspect, an arrest, and a laundry list of charges. Another crazy caught on camera cop moment, this one in Lansing, Michigan, where a police dash cam captured a DUI crash that sent a car end over end through the air. Amazingly, the driver was not seriously injured in the gravity-defying crash. Police later posted the video saying, quote, "Sometimes a drunk driving arrest will land right in front of you, literally." A close call crash caught on camera in Ohio had an officer thanking his lucky stars. The Willoughby PD cop was assisting a sidelined driver when he spotted an out-of-control truck just in the nick of time. The pickup plowed into the police patrol car, but thankfully left the officer and truck driver unscathed, but the driver was cited for failure to control. It's a new year, people. What do you say we resolve ourselves to staying safe, staying smart, and staying sober out there on the roads? For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Wow, quite the scenes there. Well, finally tonight, on a lighter note, today is National Buffet Day, so enjoy one more cheat meal maybe before you start working on New Year's diet and fitness resolutions. The buffet, as we know it, came around the start of the 19th century and gained popularity in the U.S. when Swedes set one up at the 1939 New York World's Fair exhibit. Buffet is a French word for the type of sideboard the food was customarily served on. There you go, Rusty. But I know you have a lot to talk about, so we can get one final check with you.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the 10-day forecast because there's a lot to look forward to here. We've got the rain-snow mix likely for the first half of the day on Tuesday, and then temperatures should crash a little bit on Wednesday and then slowly warm back up on Thursday, 34 degrees. 42, one of the warmer days of the next several on Friday. Saturday, a touch cooler than a lot of 40s as we head through the end of the weekend and into next week. So a lot going on temperature-wise. It looks like it's going to be pretty nice out there, but this is kind of the what's happening right now. We've got, if it'll come up, we'll see if it comes up. There you go. Winter storm warning for the western half of the state. Ice storm warnings from Sioux City south, from Grand Island and south central Nebraska, and then winter weather advisories on the southern and eastern fringe. It's just going to be a mess out there over the next several hours.
All right, thanks for keeping us updated, Rusty. We'll see you all at 6. Have a great night.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We only do one thing at Comfort Made Mattress Factory, handcraft the highest quality mattress possible. It's backed by a lifetime comfort guarantee. Come see us.
Closed captioning on Channel 8